Happy 2025, everybody. This is Mike Burke from InsideRealEstatePhotography.com, and in this video, I'm going to go over how my business did in the year 2024, also share some reflections on the past year, and also some thoughts on the upcoming year of 2025. I hope you all are doing happy and healthy out there and looking forward to the new year, 2025. I know I am. 2024 was a very exciting year for me. It was the best year in business I've ever had. Super busy though, a little overwhelming at times, but a great year overall. Some notable changes for me business-wise over the past year. One being that my wife has joined me full-time, so she's helping me run the business now, which is a huge help. I'm so grateful for her help. It was getting completely overwhelming for me and I couldn't handle everything, especially like a lot of back-end stuff. So she's been helping me with that, sort of managing scheduling, managing photo delivery, managing a lot of the back-end stuff, which is completely a full-time job in and of itself. So I am so grateful for her help this year. Another new and exciting thing that's happened over the past year is I got into shooting more Airbnb type properties. So I've been doing a lot of traveling this past year, even flying to certain destinations to shoot houses. So that's been so awesome and exciting. It's really, sort of reinvigorated my passion for this kind of work that we do. Not that I lost my passion for it, but this is sort of new and exciting. So, I've been loving doing that. The houses I shoot for that are usually pretty amazing and exciting to shoot. So that's been incredible. So I definitely hope to be doing more of that travel work this coming year. For one, as you can imagine, it's more profitable than real estate photography. So that's great about it. Also, it's just fun and exciting to see new places and shoot awesome houses and all that good stuff. So I definitely hope to be doing more of that. Of course, it presents its own set of problems, like me being absent from, my core clients here, real estate agents and real estate shoots. So I have to figure that out if I'm going to be doing more traveling. Usually I've been able to finagle it because I'm usually only gone a day or two. So it usually works out. But if I am gone more, I'm going to have to try to hire another photographer or something to help me cover shoots when I'm not around. But that's a bridge I will cross when I come to it. So with all that said, reflecting on this past year in regards to this YouTube channel, I probably posted less this year than I have done in previous years. As I've said, I've been doing a lot of traveling and it's been the busiest year I've ever had. So it's been very difficult to keep up with putting videos out here, and I apologize for that. I'm hoping to do a better job managing my schedule. I feel like I say this every year, but I'm hoping to do more with this YouTube channel, of course. It's also been dwindling financially, this YouTube channel, over the past 2 years. We'll get into those numbers soon. I'm going to share with you numbers about this YouTube channel and my business shortly, as I've done in previous years. Of course, I just want to share my typical annual disclaimer. This isn't about boasting or anything like that. There's plenty of real estate photographers that earn much more than me out there, plenty that earn less than me. I just want to share my numbers with you, be transparent with you, just show you how I'm doing. I do these videos almost every year. If you haven't seen them before, check out the previous ones. But it's also nice to just reflect on the year previous. It helps me, give me perspective on where I want to go, where I came from, where I want to go in the future, and how I want to grow. So I hope you guys find this helpful and educational in some way, or just an insight into the business. If you are a budding real estate photographer and wondering, how much do real estate photographers make? Am I a typical representation? I don't know. Of course, like I just said, it varies widely. Depends on where you are, but you can make a very good living doing this. So without further ado, let's get into some of the financials from this past year. Before we dive back into the video, I want to quickly tell you about our sponsor, PixelMob. If you're a real estate photographer looking to lighten your workload, or struggling to find a reliable editor, or just not getting the professional results that you're looking for, then PixelMob is the solution. PixelMob is a platform built by real estate photographers for real estate photographers that connects you with skilled editors for all types of real estate photo editing, including but not limited to HDR blending, flambient, object removal, virtual staging, and even video editing. Every editor in their marketplace is vetted to ensure quality, and I love that there's a peer review system so you can see ratings before choosing the right editor for your job. Plus, the editors only get paid once you're fully satisfied with the results. PixelMob is a much needed resource in our industry and can make a huge difference in your workflow. Signing up is completely free, and if you use my link, pixelmob.com/IREP, you'll get $5 in credit towards your first order. You'll also find that link down in the description of this video. So do yourself a favor and go check out PixelMob. I'm confident that you're gonna be thrilled with what they have to offer. All right, so I got my QuickBooks open here. I'm gonna share some numbers from you from last year and compare it to some previous years. So my 2024 gross income was $198,209.49. That's compared to 2023's gross income of $150,609.05. So that's almost $40,000 more in 2024 than the previous year of 2023 in gross income. And I was very pleased with that. My goal in 2024 was to hit maybe around 175, and then hopefully, I was hoping in 2025 hitting that 200 mark, and I almost hit the 200 mark this year. I didn't officially hit it yet, but I'm right underneath it, so I pretty much almost did. So that exceeded my expectations, so I have nothing but gratitude for that. As I said, it just was a super busy year. I was doing more traveling shoots that are more profitable, but just in general, just more busy for sure overall. All right, so let's touch base real quick on YouTube income for the past year. That of course includes ad revenue for these videos from Google, and also, you know, commissions from Amazon, from gear recommendations that I make. By the way, I updated my gear recommendations for 2025 just recently on my website, so check that out, insiderealestatephotography.com, if you're interested in checking that out. And of course, I sell, some, Photoshop actions and editing practice packs, sky replacement packs. There's things I sell here in the description of this video. Check those out, by the way, if you haven't already. Profits from all that stuff. So in total, YouTube related income this past year was $36,665. That's compared to 2023, which was $40,979. So that's a difference of about $4,300 roughly less this year than the previous year. So that number has gone down by $4,300. I think for at least the past 3 years, my YouTube income has incrementally been decreasing. I notice month by month, every month it goes down, 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 down. I don't know what's going on. Whether the YouTube algorithm has betrayed me, or I'm not putting out enough content or good enough content, but it just keeps going down and down. I think like I said, I did release less videos this past year than I usually do. So of course that plays a part in it, but not that big of a part. I don't know what's happening. So like and subscribe, please help me out. So now just to break that 2024 gross income down, as I said, the YouTube income was $36,665, and my gross total income was $198,209.49. So 36,000 of that was YouTube, and about $162,000 of that was my real estate photography business. So obviously the vast majority of it is my real estate photography business. I make a decent amount of extra income with the YouTube channel. It's not super profitable. I couldn't make a living off of this if I did it, at least in this niche, but it is, cool extra income. But I do this mainly to help other people out. It's nice to make a little extra money with it, but the main reason I do this, as I've said from day one, is to hopefully help some people out there get their start, and hopefully, build some great real estate photographers out there. This is a great industry to be in. Hopefully I'm helping to inspire new and up-and-coming real estate photographers with this channel. That's always been the goal. So now let's talk about expenses and net profit, which of course is how much money I took home after expenses. Everybody likes to talk about how much money their business makes, which of course is their gross income. You see it a lot in the real estate photography groups, like on Facebook and stuff, where my business is pulling in $30,000 a month, or you see a lot of people throwing those numbers around, how much they make every month or a year, or whatever it is, which sometimes they're impressive numbers, but at the end of the day, those numbers mean nothing if you're not disclosing how much you're spending. Do you have a team of photographers? Do you have office space? Do you have X, Y, and Z that's costing you tons of money? You may be making $30,000 a month, but your net profit might only be $10,000 a month. So it really all depends on how much expenses you have. And of course, at the end of the day, what really matters is your net profit. Luckily in this business, our overhead is relatively low, or could be relatively low. Like I said before, that could heavily depend on what kind of business you're running. For a solo operator like me, the overhead is relatively low, although these numbers are pretty significant, these expense numbers I'm about to share with you. So let's take a look at those. So for 2024 expenses, my total expenses for 2024 were $80,197. That's compared to 2023, where my total expenses were $61,700.05. So that's almost $20,000 more in expenses this year as compared to last year. And $80,000 in expenses is still a pretty hefty number. I know I just said that this business has low overhead. So what is that $80,000 mainly comprised of? And I'm gonna break that down for you a little bit right now. And you'll see that I didn't spend money on much other than taxes and editing. Those are the two biggest expenses for me in this business. So for instance, my total editing costs, as in outsourcing my photo editing and stuff like that, were $18,017 for the year last year. And also I spent, or I paid $38,828 in taxes last year. That's state and federal taxes estimated throughout the year. Now, that estimation is high, on the high end. I usually always overpay. I just pay what QuickBooks estimates for me to pay. My accountant always wants me to do less, but I like to overpay and get a decent return. Usually I get a pretty decent return because I overpay a good amount, but I don't want to be owing money at the end of the year. That's just me. Of course, we all have our preferences in that regard. So if you total those two numbers of the editing costs and the taxes I paid, it's about $56,000, which is the vast majority of my expenses of that $80,000 that I spent last year. What is the other $24,000? Mainly, I bought some things. I did buy a few things last year. For instance, just a couple months ago, or a month ago even, I bought this new computer, a new MacBook Pro, which was $4,000. So that's a big chunk right there. I bought a few other things. Of course, there was like some car related expenses, travel expenses. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of traveling. So flights, I did a few flights, air travel, hotels, things like that I've spent money on this year. So yeah, I mean, that's all the overhead, that's there. And $80,000 is a big number, but again, I know I did say low overhead. I think it's relatively low as compared to a lot of other businesses. Like I said, I'm not paying for office space. I'm not paying for staff. I do pay editors. I have a virtual assistant. That's another part of that expense. I do pay a virtual assistant to help with things. So yeah, so those are really what comprise my expenses. All right, so now getting to my net profit for the year. If you subtract that $80-something thousand of expenses from my gross income for the year, which was 198,000 something, you get a total net profit, or take home in my pocket money for the year of 2024 of $118,012.49. That is compared to my net profit of 2023, which was $88,909. So in 2024, I had a net profit increase of $29,103.49 more in 2024 than I did in 2023. So almost $30,000 more in net profit this past year as compared to the previous year. So I think that's a wonderful increase, $30,000. If I can keep increasing by this amount every year going forward, that'd be fantastic. I'll take that. It's a significant increase from the previous year. It's like if you had a corporate job and you got a $30,000 raise. So people would go crazy if they got that big of a raise. So of course, as business owners, we are subject to having big fluctuations. Hopefully not in this industry. Hopefully things stay steady for all of us and steadily increase. Of course, we don't want to have a $30,000 loss or a decrease in a year, but that's the risks we run as business owners, or whatever you want to call it. But it also makes things exciting, a little scary at times. But it's always a fun and interesting ride. All right, so those are my numbers and how I fared business-wise in 2024. I hope you found it educational, insightful in some way. Again, that is my goal with all of this. And if you wouldn't mind, I would love to hear how all of you guys are doing business-wise. So if you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit about, your own business, please leave a comment down below and share how you did in 2024. All right, guys, so that's about it for this video. Again, Happy New Year to you all. I wish you nothing but happiness, health, and success this coming year. I really, truly do. Thanks so much for watching this video. Again, as I mentioned before, please check out the links in the description. I got links down there to Photoshop Actions, Lightroom presets, editing practice pack, sky replacement pack. Also, please definitely check out a link to our sponsor, Pixelmob, down there. Fantastic resource for outsourcing your editing. And that's about it. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you again soon on the next one.